I want to be.
July 9th, 1961.
I got a couple months on you.
A couple months?
I'm probably the oldest guy in the room.
Really?
Probably.
58 in 4 days or something like that?
Yeah, I'll be 59 in November.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So
Wait a minute.
Blah, 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 blah,
So,
blah, blah.
Connie-
Go back to our audience.
I would love to give you some credit because you were the only person to actually put the fucking year that they were born in your thing. You're the only one not afraid
not on my
to say,
Facebook?
I'm 58 years old, except for
58.
Connie.
We don't
So
do
we have
research.
we have both ends of the spectrum and
care
all the people in the middle that
I'm not scared to tell how old I am.
If you did that research on our Facebook pages, I think I was born in 1910.
1910. So you're 109.
See?
We discussed this earlier. He's an old fucker.
I was
he's
born
Robin
in the
Cradle.
best year ever.
I would say 69.
That's right, baby.
69. You got-
The summer of 69.
Since you didn't put it, I was guessing you were 64 and born in 1955, but that wasn't right.
Well, I kind of look good for that, though.
Looking great, Sharon. So listen.
Sharon, he called you Sharon.
Thank you.
Sharon!
Thank you,
We are
darling.
back.
Sharon.
Heather Malone, say hello.
Hello, darling.
James Dean, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Raul English, say hello. Connie, Sammy, Mandy, Sandy, Cammy, Sandy, Sammy. The chick in the back that's only 18, say hello.
Chick in the back.
Juice Thea, say hello.
Hi.
Mackie,
Hi.
I love you.
How you doing, everybody?
So who's our audience member? Do we know him?
Yeah, that's some guy named Dave.
Did you pick him up on
He's
the way?
just some guy.
Just picked him up on the way. Say hi, Dave.
You
You must have had a sexy thumb.
know Nebraska.
Oh, his thumbs are very sexy. They're those,
Oh, Jesus, mother God.
Jesus Christ.
I'll thumb wrestle you right now,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
those
Are we
actor
back
thumbs
to the
that go
game
back
with
all the way
spicy
back to
meatballs
here,
and-
you know?
Screw this damn game. We're going to talk about her. No, I'm just kidding.
Just there.
So, James, how long have you been playing music?
Oh, my God. Well, I gave.
Did you start with the bass?
No, I didn't. I started playing guitar when I was about 14, 15.
And there was too many strings?
Led Zeppelin. I was gonna run away from home and go to California because I heard that song "Going to California" by Led Zeppelin about 1974, 75, and my parents gave me $50, and I'm not going to tell you what I did with it, but I rolled it. I rolled it up.
Oh.
I rolled it up.
And then I ran away from home. I ran away from home for 2 days and then came back home.
How'd you buy the weed to put in it? If you
My parents gave me $50 to go to California and hitchhike there, you know. So
Raul, you guys just established that you've only known each other.
about a week.
Seriously,
But there's a brotherhood between Army guys and him being a work with one of First Airborne. I was with the 82nd Airborne.
which is a real bond.
Yes,
by the way.
absolutely. It's a lifelong bond. Whether we knew each other or not, we both have participated in a lot of the same things and went through the same basic trainings and some of the
Turn your volume down there.
some of the exclusive trainings that we went through.
You can do what the fuck you want. So, but no, I get it, and it is a real bond because I don't care what branch of the service you're in, whether it's Marines or Army.
Sure.
There's it's like being a Harley rider or a Ford driver. I mean, that's some funniest goddamn thing in the world to me. When you see two people driving in a bug and you see them go, yeah, I'm like, fuck you. You both bought a Volkswagen. Who gives a shit? You know.
We always do that, though.
But the service, that's a real bond. Like, that's awesome. It's freaking great, dude.
Thank you for your service, Raul.
And where did you serve, Raul? I know we can't hear you, but I'll share it, huh?
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, I was in Iraq. I was state. Oh, here we go. What up? I was in Iraq. Did a year in Iraq. I was at Fort Campbell. That's the unit I deployed with. I was with the 53rd Infantry Brigade here in Tampa, Florida. I was with 4-5 ADA, 1st Cav.
So how long were you in?
13 years total.
Holy shit, fuck.
There was a break in there, but 13 years.
There was a break in there. Yeah, my marriage had that.
Yeah.
No, really. How long are you in, JD?
I did 4 years. I did 4 solid years.
See, that's about how long I would have done, except for minus 2.
Yeah, but
But
you need to tell them what you did in that 4 years.
Oh my God!
Jennifer,
Okay,
You're gonna
I'm
thank you
sorry,
for your
but
service.
I'm going to say it because he's not going to.
Well, this gentleman here was in a combat environment
Yes.
in the sandbox.
And I'm so
So you were married.
honored and proud to have him on our staff. Believe me.
Yes, I am too.
Oh, stop.
I was.
You are too?
Yeah,
That's weird.
I don't. Yeah. Well, hey, we're not Navy, okay?
Oh, jeez.
Let's not start a war.
Sammy, how long were you in the service?
Solid 85 years.
They kicked me out for my flat feet. Connie, I was just checking in on you because your phone was interesting.
I was not in the service.
But I want to. But James, he did. Just stop. I'm going to say it. He did the first reenactment in 1984 over Normandy. He was one of the paratroopers that did the reenactment.
Yeah.
So he jumped.
The 40th anniversary of D-Day, they selected 150 of us from the 82nd Airborne Division to go reenact the first reenactment of the Normandy invasion. And the 40th anniversary, June 6, 1984. I had the opportunity to represent the 82nd Airborne Division, the 1st 505 Airborne Infantry, which was the unit that took over St. Mary-Glise, and I got to parachute into Normandy, France on the 40th anniversary of D-Day. And
outside of the people that were involved in the reenactment, what was how big was the audience for that?
All I know is when I parachuted into St. Mary-Glise, France, when we hit the drop zone, which was a very small drop zone, there was television crews there. There were people there that who our forefathers saved their forefathers and liberated France. And they came running out with bottles of Calvados and wine and stuff that actually had been in the cellars since World War II, and that the Nazis never confiscated at the time. There was some secret stash that they had, and they were like, "Here,
Dude, Burns sold that shit for $200.
Your forefathers, your forefathers, you liberated our forefathers here." And I swear I went over there with 100 French francs, and I came back with 99 French francs. I could not spend a dime over there, and I had the opportunity to go to some of the beaches. Omaha Beach, Utah Beach. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Longest Day,
which beach
or Saving Private Ryan, I was at all those battle sites, and for 2 weeks, and we stood parade, and and President Ronald Reagan was there, and there's some sidebar stories that I'll tell you guys later that are you guys would.
But the feeling that you have, like the natural aura feeling that you have when you're in an environment like that. Is incredible, right?
Absolutely.
Like, whether you've been in that war or not, just knowing what happened there is an incredible experience.
I stood next to gentlemen, to soldiers that actually served in World War II, because every year some of these guys come back, and they have this group of guys that go every year, and they come back and they start in North Africa, and they go to Sicily where they did all these parachute jumps as being a paratrooper. So they start in North Africa, and then they go to Italy and Sicily, and then they go to Normandy, and then they go to Amsterdam
right.
and Nijmegen and all that. And these guys travel. Now there's not many of them left anymore. That's why we did the 40th anniversary, because most of those guys were 70, 80 years old. So the 50th anniversary came along, and so they figured the 40th anniversary, most of those guys would be there. And I stood next to some of these guys at some of these museums that...
How old were you when you went into the service?
Say again?
How old were you when you went into
I was a little older than most of the guys.
Were you able to play music while you were in there?
There's a funny story behind that.
That's why I asked that question.
So we had... So in my barracks, I had a old Fender Strat and an amplifier in my barracks room. And we had what they call a general inspection, which is usually it wasn't a general that came in, but a high-ranking officer that came in, and we had to stand in front of our barracks room. And they came down, they inspected all of our rooms, and our socks were rolled up, and everything was in place, and our uniforms were all straight, and everything was dressed right, covered down.
What was the hardest thing to get right in all that? Like your boots, your socks, your uniform?
No, I was a paratrooper, dude. We didn't have nothing that we didn't. Everything.
So you could roll the parachute up. Outside of that, fuck the socks.
Yeah.
OCD.
Dude, that is why I'm OCD now. Exactly.
I know.
Yeah. So they come to my room, and this he was a 1-star general, came to my room. So I stepped in my room, did all my things, walked in. He saw my Fender Strat sitting on a guitar stand there, and my amplifier. Goes, "Oh, you play guitar, son?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, I do." He said, "Play me a song." I busted out Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. Nice. Yes. And I'm like, now. And he's like, now. And he's like, and the guys in the hallway, which as a matter of fact, I ran into one of my old guys. His room was across from mine about 3 weeks ago in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he's like, "My God, we were standing in the hallway, and we could not believe that he did that." And the general walked out of my room and made a stage right, and he left the barracks. He didn't expect anybody else because I can't. There was nothing else he could. Yeah,
That was it.
He's like, dude,
Like done.
the best
After
thing
that?
I-
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
the best thing I
Okay.
could ever see. Yeah, so I busted out some Jimi Hendrix on a white Stratocaster, and he's like, "You guys are good to go."
That's fucking awesome. That is a good story, by the way. Thank you for telling it. Jesus Christ. I was going to stop you, and I went, nope, can't do that. Connie, so you do the event organizing for the most part, right? I mean, I realize you're way more involved in that. You're a utility player. I get that. What is your biggest role, though?
Oh my goodness! I don't know. We haven't picked the biggest role yet, have we?
I mean, okay. What do you spend the most time doing?
well, I've known them 2 weeks, so we're going to go there first.
Oh,
2 weeks.
So
Yeah,
trying to
the-
figure shit out on Facebook and it's
Right.
not working. Okay.
Yeah, well, no, literally, Connie, Sammy, and Raul just joined us. We're growing our staff right now, but Connie does a lot. When I met her, she was doing charity work. So
Like
the
this
next
show.
charity thing that she's doing is for the military.
I'm doing an event at Quaker Steak and Lube for a place called My Warriors Place. It's down in Ruskin, Florida, and it's a retreat for the military, firemen, police, everybody that's serving our country. It's a place for them to go down to and literally get out of their own heads. Kelly Kowal is a Gold Star mother. She owns the place, runs
Gold
it.
Star.
Yep, and she.
It's funny you say get out of your own head because from what we do to what y'all do, we end up in our own heads a lot.
Yes,
And it's tough to
turn it off.
You got so
You have to
much
turn it off. Yeah.
shit going on. It's tough to etch a sketch it, sit back for a second, and start over.
Right.
Because you feel like you can't afford to have that day off.
Right.
But it's the most important day off you could have.
Yes.
Right.
Because everything starts to get it's like a computer. You start, it's trying to get one thought from a million different places.
You need to
And it all
reboot.
gets confused.
Right.
You have to defrag.
Gotta throw it out the
start
window.
fresh.
Right.
Because once you do that, you're able to do it. It's just that you're done. I can't do it no more. I'll drink another beer and try again tomorrow. You know what I mean? But you have to take that day off. I keep having this conversation with people that are running shows around town. Dude,
You got to shut down. You
let
have
someone
to.
do that shit. It's one show. Let them do it. Sit back. Fuck the phone. Fuck the computer.
Yeah.
Do this.
He
Start
tells me
fresh.
that all the time. I'm literally working all the
Tell her,
time.
put the phone down, quit working for a minute, will you?
One day.
It's a tough job. Yeah.
I don't
It's a
care if
tough
it's one
job.
day every
Yeah,
week.
but
I don't
I
care if
mean,
it's one day,
put the
just for
phone
2
down
hours.
now.
For 2
Mine's
hours.
not just the magazine. I've got
Everything else. Yeah.
yeah, I've got but
The-
Connie,
So what about the event that we're doing, the Battle of the Bands?
Okay, so the event is called the Battle of the Bands. It is
Right.
sponsored by our wonderful sponsor, Miss Fran Hosh. We
Thank you,
love our
Franny.
Fran, and I love her husband, Rhett, too. He's
Thank you, Fran.
so
Well, you
funny.
said Quaker Steak and Lube. That's Fran Hodge, right?
yeah.
Quaker Steak and Lube, the owner is Bill Church. He's a good friend of mine, and I love all the staff down there. They're fantastic. They have never failed me on an event, and I love doing events there. It's my go-to place. However, the Battle of the Bands, Kelly came to me and asked me if I could help her out and earn some money for them. They need money. They just need money to support this place to,
That's the Warrior.
My Warriors Place in
Warriors
Ruskin.
Place.
Yep. You can find that all on my website, Constance After Dark. However, the Battle of Bands is going to be 18 bands competing over a year's time. It's 4 events. The first one is October 6th. The second one is March 8th, June 7th, and then the finale will be October 2020. So
in each round,
Six bands.
how are the people that move on determined?
right, 6 bands are going to compete in each round. From that, 2 bands will be picked, and they will be the finalists to go on to the October 2020.
By judges or applause?
Judges, no applause. We are going on a point system.
You can't buy that shit.
I
Gold,
do-
Goldstar Rocks Magazine.
Goldstar Rocks
Yeah.
Magazine will be
James and
James-
I are 2 of the judges.
Isn't Wade Whiskey involved in that too?
Wade Whiskey?
Heartstrings for Heroes. Yes.
Heartstrings for Heroes. I love my Wade Whiskey.
Yeah, I love Wade too.
Yep, he will be there, and a judge obviously said a big input from me. And we're going to have one of the Fran Hosh girls come out and sit with us too. So it's gonna be a big day at Quaker Steak and Lube. It's going to start 12 o'clock on October 6th, and it's go until those 6 bands are done, and we will have points
Quaker
added
Steak
up.
is fantastic about putting on.
Oh, I love Quaker
benefits.
Steak. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We actually did one there for Irma victims.
Yeah,
Back
that
in
was
the day.
for Living the Water Life with Vince Noble. He
Right.
put that show on there.
And like they bring their own people.
Right.
I mean, we bring your people,
Right,
but,
sure.
but
But-
they will double that on their own because of their name.
It's one of those venues where you don't have to promote it so much, and they rely on you to bring people in because
Right.
they have a self-contained audience.
Right.
I mean, they that place is great. Like you said, Bill.